Hello guys, KP Shamino here, and in this guide I'm going to show you guys the theory crafting for the new patch 2.2 Ascendancy because it's coming in this and a couple of days, and normally my build will be ready, the final build will be ready in 1 or 2 weeks, so it takes some time to test all the stuff, doing Adziri, doing endgame maps, and I want to deliver always a very good build, as you guys know. So therefore I did the Theorycrafting so you guys can check out, and if the patch goes live you guys can already start doing the skill tree, because I already prepared Theorycrafting skill tree. I don't think there is a lot changing still with the final build, but that's how I think I'm going to make my build. So let's get started. You guys see that I spent 120 points, so that means 120 points is the maximum if you take a reward for the bandit quest. If you kill 3 times all the bandits, you will get 123 skills. So you can spend a little bit more, but I take always the rewards of the bandits, so I only can spend like 120 skill points. So let's get started. The Marauder, by the way, I'm taking the Berserker subclass for the guys that want to know, and now you can see here you can take it. That's the Berserker class. It's possible that I make a second build, a GroundSlam build with Juggernaut, because there are very cool Juggernaut nodes too. I'm not sure that you can combine them, because here it seems you can just click here and you can take skill nodes here, but I'm not sure that you can do that when the patch goes live. So here it seems that you can take both of them, but I don't think so. If it is possible I can take both of them. It's possible I change a little bit around the build around 45, because 45 is really good, and I'm going to take probably the 45 nodes here too, but now I'm not going to take it because I don't know. I think you can only take one subclass. So let's get started. The starting is just the same, so I just going to take Warrior's Blood, Herd of the Warrior, I'm going to take Born to Fight, and I'm taking Butchery. Then I'm going, as in all my build, to Amplify Magic. On the way to Amplify Magic I take Blunt Instruments and I take Material Experience. Sanctity I'm taking Discipline and Training, and I'm taking Retribution. So it's just the same as always, so there is not a lot of stuff changing. Then we are going here to the left. I'm taking Unrelenting. Why? Because it's got a nice amount of increased maximum life and 6% reduced mana cost of skills. It's still a mana consuming build. It's not a blood magic. It's just the same like 2.1. Then we are going here to the left, and here you guys already see the first thing that I changed in the build. I'm not going to take anymore the reserved nodes here. So the reduced mana reserved node. Why not? Because I'm not running with Herald of Ash anymore. So I don't need it. It's only Hatred, Blasphemy and Warlord's Mark. So why I'm doing that? Because the Berserker gives so many DPS. It's unbelievable. I don't need Herald of Ash anymore, I think. And it was always a little bit problematic because those auras and Blasphemy take so much reserved mana that the pool was so small to use your GroundSlam that it was sometimes problematic. You needed to have like a mana leech on enemies that could not be cursed. Sometimes if you don't hit the enemies, or you were just clicking the wrong way, you were out of mana and you stopped for a moment to use your GroundSlam. And that's not fun to play, and sometimes you can die from it too. Okay, so I still going here to Devotion, but that's for the 100 level build. If you are lower than 100, just skip this area, this cluster, those 5 nodes. I'm going to do it too because I'm only 94, because it's not really needed. Then we are going to Resolute Techniques. Of course, it's not a crit build. So still resolute techniques. Then we are going to the very big DPS mace nodes. But now I'm not going to take those two, but I'm going to take those two. For the simple reason, I want to have a little bit more survivability on the ads or mobs. And 4% reduced enemy stun threshold with maces. That means that they recover slower from a stun. Really good. Only for survivability, a little bit more. If you guys think you got enough survivability, you can just take those two nodes. They give more DPS. Then we are going here to Barbarism, and in this build I'm going to take an extra Endurance Charge too. Endurance Charges are really great, and I'm still running Warlord's Mark, so with Blasphemy, so it's really easy to get Endurance Charges up. If you kill one pack, you probably have 5 up. 5 means 20% more reduced physical damage taken, and that means 20% elemental damage that you take less to. It doesn't matter a lot, the elemental damage taken less, because if you are capped, it doesn't matter. So then we are going, that's the north of these three. And then we are going to the south, so you guys will see it didn't change a lot. We are still going to Bloodless. I'm not going to take Unwavering Stance, because you can get it now in the Berserker tree too, plus a lot of more DPS, because the node before the skill in the Berserker gives a lot of DPS too. So it's just the same, but I will show you guys later when we are going to the Berserker. Then we are going to Bloody Bludgeon still. Then here I'm going to take Hema for the life leech, because it's very important. I think with this build I'm going to be around 3.2 physical life leech. So that means that's a lot of life leech. Plus Warlord's Mark is 2% more, if I'm not mistaken. Plus 2% of the Berserker, that's almost 7 to 8%. Life leech, I think physical life leech, so that's a lot. But we are going to need it, because you guys know if you play a two-hander, it's always hard to get like a lot of survivability up. Therefore I'm always using cast when damage taken. I'm using endurance charges, I'm using a lot of life leech and all that stuff. And I think with this setup it's going to be perfect. Okay, then I'm going to this cluster of nodes. Why? Very heavy two-handed DPS nodes. Wrecking Ball and Executioner, very good. Then I'm going to these nodes. Golem's Blood, very good node. I think you always need to take it in a two-hander. 10% increase maximum life and 1.6 of life regenerated per second. That's a lot. I take the jewel here too. And then here at the north, of course, Art of the Gladiator, Bravery, Master of the Arena and Destroyer. And here I'm going to the north to the Constitution node, just for the simple reason. A lot of life and you need to take it. On the way I take a jewel too. So that's roughly the build that I'm going to use. If I'm not using the Berserker as subclass, it's probably I'm going to try the Juggernaut. Why? Because a Juggernaut, for the simple reason, it gives 30% increased damage while you fortify and 1.5 life regen. The other stuff is not that good, so I'm not sure it's going to work for my build. But if I take Juggernaut, I'm going to take those 4 nodes too, because I probably can get fortify in my 6th link. But I don't think it's always going to be... I'm not sure it's going to be better than taking Berserker, DPS wise. I think Berserker is always going to be better. So that's the setup. So there is some stuff changing. I think the main stuff that is changing is I don't take Herald of Ash. I take a lot of more physical life leech, so almost 7%. I got an endurance charge more, and I think that's the most important stuff that changed in the build. Then we are going to the subclass that I'm going to take, and it looks like this. It's the Berserker, and the Berserker is really good for DPS. It's like unbelievable good. I think it's going to be very overpowered. So I'm going to the north first, so you already we'll see, guys, it's all about increased physical damage, increased attack speed, and the first note is Pain Reaver, and Pain Reaver gives so much, 2% of damage leads as life, and mana if you've killed recently. So it's a very good note. It's like a Warlord's Mark, but of course you need to kill first one mob. Therefore I'm still using Warlord's Mark and for the endurance charges. Then we are going to Cloak of Savagery. This one is going to be very good, I think, for end bosses on maps and for Aziri. Because I don't think that normal mobs will hit for 20% of your life with one hit. So I take this skill just for the end bosses in endgame maps and Aziri. I'm not taking Warbringing for the simple reason that I'm not using a Warcry. I can use the Warcry to get like endurance charges up, but I don't want to do it because I want to get everything automatic in my build, because it goes so fast for a melee that you probably don't have time to cast a Warcry on mobs. Therefore I'm not doing it. Then I'm going to a Read of Ruins, and why I skipped Unwavering Stance for this skill node in Berserker. So cannot be stunned if you've killed recently. So that means you don't need to take Unwavering Stance, because that is doing just the same. Okay, you first need to kill a mob, and it's possible if you're on an end boss and you get stunned that you're fucked because you don't killed recently. But that is like, yeah, a percent difficulty that I take in the build. Because I don't want to spend 2 more points to go to Unwavering, I want to take this. For the simple reason, if you go to Unwavering here, you will see it's like a strength node, and here you get like, in this node gives like increased armor and increased physical damage of 12. It's a lot better than the strength node. Then we are going here to the south to Grave of Slaughter. Very good. 25 increased attack speed if you're being hit recently, just the same. You always get hit as a melee. And increased movement speed if you haven't been hit recently, so you can get like, you can go a lot faster between packs. So that's good. And then we are going to one of the best, I think, for Berserker, Aspect of Carnage. 40% more damage. It's insane. So it's insane. Okay, you get 10% increased damage taken, but compared to the benefit that you get from it, it's very good. So that was the setup, guys. That was a Theorycrafting for my GroundSlam build. Of course, I'm going to run Hatred. I'm going to run Blasphemy with Warlord's Mark. The setup is going to be the same for GroundSlam. I'm not changing a lot the 6 link. For my 5 link on my chest, I'm going to do it with Leap Slam again, fortify on Leap Slam. Maybe faster attacks or something like that. So you guys know the drill. So for the final build, it will come in this and 2 weeks. Here you already, guys, got like the Theorycrafting build. So I hope that you guys enjoy the build. Have fun in Ascendancy 2.2. GroundSlammers, kill some stuff. I think they buffed really good my build with the subclasses. If I just check the DPS that we get now, if I check the survivability, so much life leech and all that stuff. So I'm very happy, but we still need to wait. You know, it's possible that in this and a couple of days they nerf the shit out of the subclasses. That's always possible with Path of Exile, but on the first sight and after the Theorycrafting, I'm very happy with the result of the new patch, and I hope you guys are happy too. If you like the movie, give me a like. If you like my channel, subscribe please. Otherwise, have fun and see you later. Bye bye.